Hi, Steve Schlagel here. I'm often asked, can you give me some sort of a list of tax deductions that I can claim in my business? And there's a lot of ways to do that. You can just go to Google and Google business deductions, business write-offs, tax deductions, and so forth, and get lots of interesting lists that show many different expenses, some unusual ones and some of the ordinary ones. You can even go to the IRS website, and the IRS publishes lists of tax deductions that are allowable in your business. But I would challenge you to go beyond that, because those lists are obviously not comprehensive and they can't think of everything, and every business is different. And so what you should be thinking is, what could arguably be related to your business activities? What's remotely related to your business activities? Each business has different sorts of expenses that are unique to it also. And the only person who knows about those is you. Your CPA or your tax preparer can't come up with a comprehensive, all-inclusive list that applies to each and every type of business. So I challenge you to think about what those items might be, and when you bring that list of all of the deductions that you could keep track of during the year to your CPA or your tax preparer, they will help you apply the IRS standard, which is that particular expense ordinary and necessary to your business? Ordinary and necessary, the two key tests there. And they'll look through it. But if you don't bring all of those items that you think are remotely related to them, then you're probably going to start missing some deductions that you should take. And so, silly as it might seem, you actually have to think about it. And so I've got some ketchup here. Is ketchup an ordinary and necessary expense for a business? Is it something that's related to what that business does? Well, obviously we think about a restaurant or a grocery store. Certainly having that ketchup there is an ordinary and necessary expense for their business. But what about a dentist's office? Do you think ketchup's an ordinary and necessary expense for a dentist's office? Maybe, maybe not. Let's think about it. If I have a dentist's office and I have 10 employees and I have a lunchroom there, perhaps I buy ketchup to put into the lunchroom so that my employees can use it when they bring their lunches to work. In that case, it would be an ordinary and necessary business expense. Sort of makes sense. If I bought ketchup and just brought it home, is it ordinary and necessary expense for my business? No, it's a personal expense, so I can't have it. So the IRS says, hey, take this and throw it away. But what about this? A fluffy little elephant toy. Is this an ordinary and necessary expense? Well, take my business. I'm a CPA and an attorney. Do you think this is an ordinary and necessary business expense for me? Certainly would be if I was a daycare. But what about in my business? Well, I sometimes have clients come in that have lots of kids, and they bring the kids in with them, and the kids can't always participate in the discussion, so we have a little waiting area and a little play area where they can have some fun and occupy themselves while I work with their parents. Well, in that case, if I bought this fluffy little toy and other toys and put them in that area for those kids to use when they came into my office, then this would be a tax deduction. Okay? Most often, obviously, it's not, but sometimes it is. And so the only way that we can know for sure whether we've captured all those expenses is to have you go out there and think about, what could I make an argument for that is related to my business? What types of items am I paying for that's related to my business? And if you only use those lists, then you might have a list and you'll look at it and you'll say, oh, I don't see business cards on my list, so therefore I can't take a deduction for them because my accountant gave me this list. Don't be trapped by that. Think broadly. You'd be surprised what might be deductible. So get out there, think about it, make sure you don't leave any deductions on the table, right? Right.